The vast emptiness of space stretched before the human exploration vessel horizon, its sleek metallic hull glinting against the distant starlight. Captain J. Park stood at the bridge, his eyes scanning the holographic displays that flickered with intricate data streams. Something felt different today. Yoon Kim, the ship's navigator, adjusted a series of quantum communication filters, her fingers moving with practiced precision. The ship hummed quietly, a testament to humanity's advanced engineering. Outside, the black void seemed to whisper secrets of unexplored territories. Suddenly, a faint signature appeared on the long-range scanners. Most would have missed it, but not the trained eyes of the Horizon's crew. An alien reconnaissance vessel, barely visible, had been tracking them for several standard hours. Jay understood immediately. They were being observed, studied like specimens, under a microscope. The alien ship maintained a careful distance, believing itself undetected. But humans had learned patience through centuries of survival. The alien vessel, commanded by a being named Kirill, represented the Galactic Confederation, a massive interstellar network of species that had ruled the cosmos for millennia. They viewed humans as a young, insignificant species, barely worthy of acknowledgement. Yoon whispered to Jay, "They think we're primitive." Her tone carried a hint of amusement rather than offense. The aliens had no idea what humanity truly represented. Inside the alien ship, Commander Kirill reviewed initial surveillance reports. Holographic projections showed the human vessel's basic technological capabilities: quantum drives, basic plasma shields, rudimentary weapon systems, nothing impressive by Confederation standards. "Another emerging species," Kirill muttered to his strategic analyst. "Potential for expansion minimal. Recommendation is passive monitoring." What Kirill didn't know was that every movement, every scan, every moment of observation was precisely calculated by the humans. This wasn't a random encounter. It was a carefully orchestrated introduction. The Horizon's communication systems remained deliberately limited, transmitting only basic navigational data. No advanced signatures, no complex technological markers that might reveal their true capabilities. Humanity had learned the art of strategic concealment. Jay watched the alien vessel with calm eyes. Decades of space exploration had taught humans to be patient, to understand that true power wasn't about immediate display, but strategic revelation. Yoon adjusted some settings, creating subtle interference patterns that would make their ship appear less technologically advanced. It was a dance of deception, a performance where humans were the unseen choreographers. The alien reconnaissance ship continued its silent observation, recording what it believed was a mundane encounter with a developing species. Its sensors captured limited data, exactly what the humans wanted them to see. Inside the Horizon's hidden computational cores, complex algorithms processed the encounter. Every scan, every electromagnetic wave was analyzed, mapped, and stored. The humans were collecting information about their observers while simultaneously presenting a carefully constructed illusion of technological simplicity. Kirill's analyst, reviewing the initial reports, noted the human vessel's seemingly random trajectory. What appeared as navigational uncertainty was, in fact, a precise mathematical pattern designed to reveal nothing about their true intentions or capabilities. As stellar minutes passed, the encounter remained unremarkable. The alien ship maintained its distance, collecting what it believed were comprehensive surveillance data. The Horizon continued its journey, appearing as just another small vessel exploring the cosmic frontier. But beneath this calm exterior, something ancient and powerful stirred. Humanity carried within its genetic memory capabilities far beyond current understanding. This moment was not an end, but a beginning. Jay allowed himself a slight smile. The galaxy would soon learn that humans were far more than they appeared. The first seeds of a much larger story were being planted in this quiet, unremarkable moment of cosmic interaction. The stars continued their silent dance, witnesses to a game of strategic deception that would soon change everything. The Galactic Confederation's Central Command bustled with activity, holographic screens displaying the initial reports from the reconnaissance mission. Commander Kirill stood before the Council, presenting what he believed was a straightforward assessment of a newly discovered species. Humans appear to be a standard emerging civilization, Kirill began, his tentacle-like appendages gesturing towards a projection of the horizon. Limited technological capabilities, minimal interstellar presence. Unbeknownst to Kirill, every word was carefully being monitored by a team of human researchers back on their most advanced space station. HFY, a brilliant strategic analyst, watched the alien transmission with a knowing smile. The alien council members listened intently. Some looked bored, others mildly curious. Humans were just another species in the vast cosmic landscape, or so they thought. In a hidden research facility orbiting a distant planet, human scientists were piecing together a much more complex narrative. The intercepted alien communications revealed more about the Confederation's weaknesses than the aliens realized. Researcher Min Park studied the data streams, his fingers dancing across quantum interfaces. Each piece of information was a puzzle, and humans were exceptional at solving puzzles. The alien report continued. Kirill detailed the human vessel's apparent limitations, basic propulsion systems, primitive weapon technologies, and what seemed to be random exploration patterns. What he didn't know was that each of these limitations was a carefully constructed illusion. Back on the horizon, Captain J. Park reviewed the alien observations. The crew maintained their facade of technological innocence, each member playing their part in a grand, sophisticated performance. Yoon Kim, the ship's navigator, made subtle course corrections that would appear random to outside observers. Every movement was calculated. Every signal carefully managed to present an image of naive exploration. The Galactic Confederation's analysis team began categorizing humans. Emerging species, their reports read, potential for peaceful integration, minimal threat assessment. Little did they know that humanity had been watching, learning and preparing for far longer than any alien civilization could imagine. In a classified meeting room deep within Human Command, strategic planners discussed the unfolding scenario. "Let them believe we're weak," one senior officer remarked. "The less they know, the more advantage we gain." The Alien Council continued their discussion. Some suggested immediate diplomatic contact. Others proposed a waiting approach. None suspected. The intricate web of preparation humanity had been weaving for decades. HFY intercepted another transmission. The aliens were discussing potential resource extraction from human-adjacent star systems. They saw humans as a species to be managed, controlled, potentially exploited. A fatal mistake. Each piece of misinformation the aliens believed was carefully planted. Human intelligence networks had been working for years to create this exact perception, a seemingly primitive species ripe for manipulation. The horizon continued its journey, appearing to drift aimlessly through space. But every movement was precise, every scan a calculated risk. The ship was collecting more information about the Galactic Confederation than the aliens could possibly imagine. Commander Kirill's final report was submitted with confidence. Humans, low-threat emerging species, recommended passive observation and potential future diplomatic engagement. If only he knew the truth. Deep within human genetic memory lay capabilities beyond current understanding. Centuries of evolution, adaptation, and hidden technological development were about to be unleashed. The stage was set, the players were in position, and the galaxy had no idea what was coming. As the Alien Council celebrated their thorough assessment, humans continued their silent preparation. This was not a beginning of submission, but the quiet moments before a storm that would reshape galactic civilization forever. The universe held its breath, unaware that the most dangerous predator was the one nobody was watching. The quantum data streams began to reveal patterns that made the Galactic Confederation nervous. What appeared random was anything but coincidental. Nara, the alien strategic analyst, studied the holographic projections with growing unease. Human colony locations formed a complex geometric pattern that defied conventional understanding. Each seemingly random settlement was positioned with mathematical precision that suggested something far more calculated. On the human research station, HFY watched the alien confusion with quiet satisfaction. Humanity had been playing a long game, and now the first layers were beginning to peel away. The alien leadership gathered in their central command, tension thick in the atmosphere. Star maps showed human expansion, not aggressive, not chaotic, but methodical. Each colony was a perfectly placed piece of a larger puzzle they couldn't yet comprehend. Captain J. Park reviewed the strategic maps aboard the horizon. Years of preparation were coming to fruition. Humans had learned patience from their complex historical struggles, understanding that true power wasn't about immediate conquest, but strategic positioning. Alien communication networks began detecting unusual quantum signatures near human-controlled territories. These weren't standard technological emissions. They suggested something deeper, something almost evolutionary. Kirill's research team discovered something disturbing. Human colonies, despite appearing isolated, maintained near instantaneous communication capabilities that defied current technological understanding. It was as if they were connected by an invisible network far more advanced than anything in the known galaxy. Genetic researchers found anomalies in human DNA that suggested something extraordinary. Dormant genetic markers indicated potential, capabilities far beyond current scientific comprehension. These weren't mutations. They were deliberate genetic adaptations. The Galactic Confederation's confidence began to crack. Their initial assessment of humans as a simple emerging species was rapidly falling apart. Nara compiled a report that sent shockwaves through alien leadership. Human technological progression wasn't linear. It was adaptive, almost organic. Each technological leap seemed connected to some deeper hidden knowledge. Quantum computers analyzed human communication patterns. What appeared random was actually a complex communication method that could transmit massive amounts of information. Through seemingly mundane interactions, alien military strategists began to recognize a potential existential threat. Humanity wasn't just another species to be managed or controlled. They were something else entirely. The horizon continued its journey, each movement a carefully calculated step in a much larger strategy. The crew moved with a collective purpose. That suggested something beyond standard military or exploratory training. Archaeological discoveries started revealing fragments of a mystery. Human cultural archives contained references to advanced technologies that seemed impossible, yet the evidence was undeniable. Kirill's confidence crumbled. The humans were playing a game so complex that traditional galactic power structures seemed obsolete. They weren't just another species to be categorized and controlled. They were something entirely new. Communication intercepts showed human discussions that hinted at a deeper understanding of cosmic dynamics. They spoke of adaptation, of potential, of a future that seemed both terrifying and magnificent. The Galactic Confederation's leadership began emergency meetings. Panic started to spread. What had initially seemed like a simple assessment of a new species was transforming into a potential threat to everything they understood about cosmic hierarchy. Nara's final report was chilling. Humans are not what they appear. They are waiting, preparing, and we have no idea what they are preparing for. As stellar cycles passed, the tension grew. Humanity remained calm, patient, their true capabilities hidden behind a carefully constructed facade of simplicity. The universe watched, holding its breath. Something was coming, something that would change everything forever, and humanity was ready. The archaeological discovery came without warning. Deep beneath an abandoned human colony, researchers uncovered a chamber that defied all known scientific understanding. Dr. J. Kim, leading the expedition, brushed away centuries of cosmic dust from intricate metallic panels. The symbols weren't human, yet they resonated with something deep within human genetic memory. Each symbol pulsed with an energy that seemed to whisper ancient secrets. Alien research teams intercepted the initial transmission. Their quantum scanners detected something unprecedented, technological signatures that predated known galactic civilizations by millions of years. The chamber contained genetic records that suggested humans were not a new species. They were remnants, survivors of a civilization so advanced it had been forgotten by time itself. Genetic markers in human DNA began to activate. Scientists watched in astonishment as dormant capabilities emerged. People discovered abilities that defied current scientific understanding: quantum communication, adaptive biological responses, and computational capabilities beyond any known technology. Kirill's research team tracked the developments with growing terror. Humans weren't evolving, they were remembering. Ancient technological blueprints emerged from human genetic memory, complex mathematical equations that could restructure. Entire planetary systems appeared in scientific journals overnight. Technological leaps that would have taken centuries happened in mere months. The Galactic Confederation realized they had made a catastrophic mistake. Humans weren't a new species. They were the descendants of a civilization that had once ruled the entire cosmos. Quantum computers in human research facilities began decoding complex transmission patterns. Each decoded message revealed fragments of a history so magnificent, so terrifying, that it challenged everything known about cosmic civilization. Dr. Hai Choi stood before a holographic projection of the discovered chamber. "We are not beginning," she said quietly. "We are remembering." Alien monitoring stations detected unusual energy signatures from human colonies. Entire planetary systems seemed to respond to human presence, as if recognizing a long-lost connection. The genetic awakening spread quietly. Humans began displaying capabilities that seemed almost supernatural. Advanced problem-solving, instantaneous computational thinking, and an understanding of cosmic dynamics that surpassed current scientific knowledge. Captain J. Park reviewed the emerging data. Humanity's true nature was emerging, not through conquest, but through remembrance. Archaeological sites across human-controlled territories began revealing similar chambers. Each discovery added another piece to a complex cosmic puzzle. Humans weren't expanding. They were reconnecting with a forgotten heritage. Alien leadership panicked. The species they had considered primitive was revealing itself as something far more ancient and powerful. Genetic researchers discovered that human DNA contained memory structures that could store and transmit complex information across generations. What appeared as random genetic variations were actually sophisticated information storage systems. The Horizon, once considered a simple exploration vessel, was now understood as a key to unlocking humanity's hidden potential. Its design contained technological principles that suggested a connection to something far older than current galactic civilizations. Quantum communication networks started showing unusual patterns. Human colonies, previously thought to be isolated, were actually part of a complex, interconnected system that operated beyond traditional technological understanding. Kirill's final report was a mixture of terror and reluctant admiration. Humans were not an emerging species. They were a sleeping giant, waiting to remember its true nature. The cosmic balance was about to change. Humanity's hidden heritage was awakening, and nothing would ever be the same. As stellar cycles passed, the Galactic Confederation watched in growing terror. The species they had planned to control was revealing itself as the most sophisticated, most dangerous civilization in cosmic history. Humanity wasn't just returning. They were remembering who they had always been, and the universe would never be prepared for what was coming. The first wave of conflict began quietly, almost silently. Alien battle fleets approached human territories, believing their technological superiority would ensure quick victory. They carried weapons developed over thousands of stellar cycles, confident in their military might. Captain J. Park watched the incoming fleet from the Horizon's command bridge. His team remained calm, almost eerily composed. No panic, no tension, just cold, calculated preparation. The alien armada consisted of 300 massive warships, each capable of destroying entire planetary systems. Their weapons could shatter molecular structures, disrupt quantum communications, and obliterate entire civilizations. Humans responded with something entirely unexpected. Instead of launching traditional counterattacks, human colonies began generating quantum interference fields. These fields didn't just block alien weapons, they transformed them, redirecting destructive energy back towards the attackers. Alien weapon systems started failing systematically, not through direct destruction, but through complex quantum manipulations that made their technologies simply ineffective. Commander Kiral watched in horror as his most advanced battle formations dissolved. Human response wasn't aggressive, it was adaptive. Each alien strategy was anticipated, neutralized before it could fully develop. Quantum communication networks revealed the truth. Humans weren't fighting a war. They were conducting a precise, surgical restructuring of galactic power dynamics. Entire alien fleet formations found their communication systems compromised. Navigation controls became unreliable. Weapon systems generated random energy signatures that made targeting impossible. The human approach was almost mathematical. No wasted energy, no unnecessary destruction, just precise, calculated neutralization of potential threats. Research stations discovered that human colonies were generating complex energy fields that interfered with alien technologies. These weren't traditional defensive systems, they were living adaptive networks that responded to threats with incredible precision. Genetic memories awakened within human populations. Individuals discovered capabilities that transformed conventional understanding of warfare. Strategic thinking became instantaneous, adaptive, almost prescient. The horizon moved through battle zones like a ghost, generating quantum interference, patterns that made entire alien battle groups essentially non-functional. No explosions, no dramatic destructions, just systematic, complete neutralization. Alien leadership realized they were facing something beyond traditional military understanding. Humans weren't conquering, they were restructuring cosmic dynamics, strategic. Analysis revealed a terrifying truth. Humans had been preparing for this moment for generations. Every technological development, every genetic adaptation, every colonial placement was part of a complex multi-generational strategy. Kiral's final transmission captured the moment of realization. "They were never our victims," he said quietly. "We were always their opportunity." Human colonies began generating complex energy networks that transformed entire star systems. Planetary defenses became living, adaptive systems that responded to threats with incredible intelligence. The confrontation lasted barely 3 standard stellar cycles. When it ended, the Galactic Confederation no longer existed as a meaningful political entity. Humans hadn't destroyed their opponents, they had simply made them irrelevant. Captain J. Park watched the final strategic projections. Humanity's hidden heritage had awakened. The cosmos would never be the same. No dramatic speeches, no celebrations, just the quiet understanding that a new chapter in cosmic evolution had begun. The universe held its breath, watching a species remember its true potential, and humanity was finally home.